Hi there, Loy Machedo speaking to you from loymachedo.com, and who's Loy Machedo? The date is 18th July 2015. Time right now is 3:46 in the morning. I just came back after watching Terminator Genisys. Let me just get my settings right before the iMac shuts down and goes into the screensaver mode. That's always that happens. Okay, wait. Okay, all right. So now, 31 years ago, the movie came out, the Terminator, where you had this weird-sounding name of an actor who played the role of being like a demigod. He had a chiseled face, he had this amazing rippling biceps, he had a big chest, he had broad shoulders, and he came out with an accent. And the way he spoke, I mean, it was unbelievable because you couldn't understand. He kept saying, "I'll be back." And I remember my generation, everyone trying to copy, "I'll be back." So, and when the movie came out in 1984, the concept itself was pretty shocking. You had man versus machine, where, initially where the plot always used to be USA, the good guy, Russia, China, the bad guy, and USA finally wins the battle. Here you had a twist in the total thinking. You had man versus machine because of the mistakes done by man. So the concept, the creativity, and the characterization of the whole movie in 1984 was so amazing that it had a perfect rating. You can even check RottenTomatoes.com. And with that movie, Arnie with his Austrian accent and his phrase, "I'll be back," became immortal. Now fast forward 2015. Arnold Schwarzenegger is 67 years old. Can you believe 67? And he has achieved much more than what most people would ever achieve in a lifetime. You have him being the most successful bodybuilder of all times, the most recognized one. You have him being the action hero of the 80s and 90s. You have him as the most successful businessman, the most competitive competitive individual, and yes, the only person to jump into politics and jump out of it successfully. So he has done it all. And as for now, you begin to ask yourself, what's more left? What's left for him to do? So now, whatever he does is, just to leave a legacy. So why am I telling you all this? What has this got to do with the movie? It has every single thing. When I went into the theater, nobody was there with me. I went alone. Apparently, nobody wanted to watch the movie with me. I just went there with a bottle of water, and as I sat down, the minute Arnold Schwarzenegger's name came up on screen, everyone, all the adults, they started screaming and whistling in excitement as if people forgot they were adults, and women were like, "Yay," clapping, and we were just looking around, smiling at everyone because everyone became a child once again. It just rekindled the fire that was there as children. When you would see Arnold Schwarzenegger's name come there, you'd be like, we know it's going to be an amazing movie. We grew up watching this guy on screen. So it brought about all these memories of Arnold Schwarzenegger. And then you had a director, Alan Taylor, who directed Thor: The Dark World. He capitalized on Arnie's charisma by making sure that Arnold came early onto the screen initially, and Arnie took part in most of the action sequences. He was there, so that is what made it really exciting. Because more than watching anyone else fighting, I think people are interested to know what Arnold would do. The highlight of the movie was each and every action scene was exactly the way as shown in the trailer, and the way it was shown was actually entertaining by itself. I mean, I went and watched the movie because I kept seeing this trailer over and over again. I finally said, okay, fine, I'll go watch it. However, being an honest critic, I have to point the flaws. Now, the flaws, I managed to get 7 major flaws of the movie. The first one is the plot is absolutely confusing. Confusing. I mean, The guy goes from the future to the past, and in between he sees something that shocks him. So then he goes into the past, and then he sees something from the quantum parallel past life of his, and then he comes to 1984. Once he comes to 1984, he finds out that Terminator has come and met the girl even before, Sarah Connor, and then they have to time travel again into the future, which is not perfectly into the future. And then once he comes there, he finds again something happening. I mean, it's so confusing, And then you find John Connor has also traveled back in time to bump into the same future, past, whatever. So it's so confusing. The second one is Jay Courtney. He sucks as Kyle Reese. Emilia Clarke, she plays Sarah Connor. It was kind of cute, but by no means is she anywhere near Linda Hamilton's performance. Then this guy's name, Byung-Hung Lee, was chosen as the T-1000. I have no idea why he was chosen. Maybe they're just trying to show China. He's a bad guy, so he's Chinese. I don't know. It didn't make any sense. The biggest question I have is, why in the world did the marketing team expose the major plot of the story? The major plot of the story as John Connor becoming the bad guy. Why did you have to expose that? Couldn't you just shut up and keep it, away? Then you also have the action scenes, which were all exposed thanks to the stupid marketing team. Yes, it did convince me to go and watch, but why? Why did you have to keep flashing? I mean, the best parts of the movies were all exposed. Then the final one was the ending. Was pretty goody. Everything was perfect, and I hated that. I wish there was something not so perfect there. So, even with all these serious flaws, if any other movie had these flaws, I would give it 0 and tell you don't watch it. But why am I recommending you to watch? Well, first one is, if you have seen the 1984 movie The Terminator, there are so many scenes which overloop. They just loop over each other. So you would definitely want to see it. And given the fact that I just watched Terminator Genisys, I just want to see the Terminator once again, because there are so many scenes which were replicated. The second one is Arnold Schwarzenegger is playing the part he was meant to play, so it does bring back memories. So this is the reason why I recommend you to watch. So now the moment of truth. See, I just feel that Arnold will forever be remembered as one of the greatest action heroes of all time, and no matter what anyone says, I think we will always love him. We'll always want to be like him, And even though this movie signals the end of Arnold Schwarzenegger in the lead role for the Terminator, I know one thing for sure: no one, and I mean absolutely no one, can replace Arnold Schwarzenegger as the Terminator. Only he could play this role perfect. So I just want to say, Arnie, Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever. Thank you for giving us the most amazing movies of our time. And deep down, as a Terminator fan, I just hope I get to hear you, play this role once again. I don't know, maybe it'll be 87. I don't mind you play the role again. It would just be an absolute thrill to hear you say, "I'll be back." So until then, Loy Machedo from LoyMachedo.com saying, "Hasta la vista, baby." I think I said that. Actually, no, Indian accent. Anyway, 8 out of 10. Let me know your views. This is Loy signing off for now. Bye.